What's going on, everybody? In this video, I am going to walk you through a day in my life. I am actually here at a friend's real estate office where there's going to be a bunch of realtors and a few mortgage lenders, and I'm going to talk with them about social media. You know, I've invested a lot into learning it, and I'm currently mastering my craft with it. And so I figured if I can teach them everything I've learned about social media, and in return just keep me in mind for insurance, that's something that I want to do. And so this is going to be the first of many. I've already got my calendar scheduled out with a bunch of real estate offices, and so without further ado, let's get into it. Because I could sit here and present to you guys like insurance stuff, but that's super boring. This stuff is actually going to hopefully help your guys' business, and in return, just keep me in mind for insurance. What's going on, everybody? So in today's video, I'm with my buddy Ivan Simmental. Him and I have been friends for maybe over a year now, and we connected via social media. He is a mortgage officer, loan officer out here in Vegas, and we just naturally connected with each other. I was invited to a home buying workshop from a mutual friend, and then I attended it to talk insurance, and he was there to talk mortgage and lending, and that's how we connected. But we knew each other via social media, which is really cool. I think he does a lot of amazing things on social media, so you'll definitely want to connect with him. But what we want to talk about is his experience in the lending world and how that applies to us insurance agents, and for us to really pick his brain on what he looks for in partnerships, what he looks for with insurance agents, and what do they need to do for him to want to send them business. Because a lot of us, we will try to make these partnerships, and a lot of us are unsuccessful. And we want to know how do we add value to them. And so as we got to talking about it, he gave me a laundry list of things that he looks for, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. So hopefully it can help, any of you insurance agents out there that are looking to also build partnerships and you haven't been successful. So with that being said, Ivan, thanks for being with me today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this delicious breakfast. That's awesome. I'm excited. Anytime I get to eat and talk, it's a win-win.
Yeah, well, we'll try to make this quick so we can hurry up and eat. But so, Ivan, I know you've been in lending for mortgage for 7 years.
Yep.
And now you are a branch manager overseeing other lenders, which is really cool. So congrats on that.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You have obviously probably have had people try to earn your business over the years. Can you talk about what not to do as an insurance agent that we think works but actually doesn't?
Man, so that's such a good question. I would say asking for the business off the bat, right? Like, we know why insurance agents are going to reach out to us out of the blue, right? So don't be harsh with, like, hey, send me your business, or hey, I want to partner with you, or hey, I want to do this. How about you get to know me and my business first? Ask me, what am I struggling with my current partnership, or with whoever I'm sending insurance business to. I would say, instead of what not to do, how about just build an honest, genuine relationship at first, and see if there's some kind of chemistry, right? Before you ask a girl out, you see if you guys get along, and you see if you actually like her. Like, okay, I could see another date, right? So then you ask her out. So same thing with business. I want to work with a realtor, and I have a conversation with them, and if I think at the end of that conversation we can do business, then say, hey man, let's do business, and let's create a partnership.
Yeah, I think we don't vibe with everybody, and we think that we're just supposed to mesh and vibe with everybody. In insurance, we visit other insurance offices. I've gone to dealerships, and I've gone to mortgage offices, and I just introduced myself, and it's kind of like a numbers game, because you're not going to vibe with everybody. You're going to get that, what are you doing in my office? Which is normal, because we as insurance agents, who comes to us is restoration companies. So they come to us. So what they are to us are what insurance agents are to you.
100%.
And so they visit our office with goods, and I like them. They're good people, They're and just like insurance. I mean, they're good people. But I think so it's the same thing, but understanding off the bat that you're not going to click with everyone, and the ones that you do click with, that's what you're going to want to build with them.
Yes, 100%.
And so one of the things that you also told me was to have a true partnership with, like, that relationship needs to be a true partnership, which, again, and then also what insurance agents are to you or what realtors are for you,
100%.
right? So it's like the circle of life, you know what I'm saying?
That's 100% it. The partnership, I think, comes with, obviously you want my business, and obviously we want to work together, right? But what are we going to do, what are you going to do as an insurance agent that's going to add value to my business, right? Whether it's, hey, I'm going to send you a lead, or here you go, right? Or whether it's like, hey, Ivan, let's sit down and talk and brainstorm on how we can generate business together and what we can potentially do to get leads or to get me business, and then in return can send it to you. I've never had one agent invite me out to coffee or like, hey man, what can I do to add value to your business? Like, is it introducing you to another realtor? Is it introducing you to other lenders, or whatever it may be? How can I add value to you? And that's what I do to realtors. Like, hey, realtor, like, I see that you're starting off with video. How about I help you add value to your business? In return, you're going to get exposure on social media and get business from it. Right?
Yeah.
That's off the bat. I'm adding value to their business. So I say in any relationship, it has to be a true and genuine partnership where it's beneficial on both sides, right?
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents on that specific subject.
Yeah. Ask people what they're struggling with, how you can help them. I think that's huge. And believe it or not, that's actually why I wanted to do this was, believe it or not, prior to you saying that, I was never told that by anybody. Like, it needs to be a partnership, like, meaning let's strategize on how we can help each other's businesses out. It's obvious what a mortgage officer or a lender can do for the insurance agent. That's obvious, right? It's just, hey, I got an insurance guy, let's get you a quote. But how do insurance agents do that to you? And I think a lot of times we think, well, I'm looking for multiple mortgage officers, so it's like it's almost impossible for me to refer my one friend that has a refinance to you. Of course. Because I know so many of them. But I think you can dig deeper in that by finding out there are ways. There are ways to add value. So whether it's connecting with a realtor or helping them with social media. Yeah. And I'll let you finish that thought, and then I got something else to jump on.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you said that, because obviously I'm working with tons of realtors. I can't give everybody a listing, right? I cannot. Or I can't give everybody a pre-approved buyer. But I'm glad that you touched on that, because what you can do is you might have a conversation with another lender that you might say, oh man, my other lender partners might benefit from this, right? Just like watching a social media video on like how to build a house. Like, oh man, like this person is putting out this awesome video on how to build a house. Let me send it to my friend who's actually building a house right now, right? So we're having a conversation, you're like, you know what, Ivan? I had a great conversation with my other lender partner, and he told me X, Y, and Z. That's already adding value to me, because that might be something that I didn't know, right? Where if I'm speaking to another insurance agent and they share something that's really working for them, I want you to be successful. So, hey, I was speaking with an insurance agent, and he said he's doing X, Y, and Z. That's already adding value to you.
Absolutely.
Whether you're doing it or not, it's just like, it's me going above and beyond, like, hey man, I care for you. This is what's working for this lender. You might try to implement this.
Right. That's huge. That's huge. I love that. There is another thing I wanted to talk about, and I hope insurance agents really note this one down. A lot of insurance agents ends with with loan officers or mortgage officers or partners in general is, well, I'm going to get you a quote super quick, and I'm going to take care of your client. And as we talked about that, you're like, duh, like you're supposed to do that. Like that's non-negotiable. That's the bare minimum. And so, keep that in mind, that, getting someone a quote the same day or within 20 minutes, which is something that, that's unacceptable. If Ivan sends my team a deal, the minimum expectation should be, we're going to get that quote back to you in probably 20 minutes, maybe an hour. Mm-hmm. But that's a gimme.
It's like me saying, hey man, I'm gonna take your client to the closing table. Well, I hope so. If I'm sending you this deal, I hope that we're gonna fund this loan. Yeah, like that's the bare minimum that we should do, right?
Yeah.
But how's the communication? How are you treating the client? Whether your rate is higher or lower, whatever it is, how have you made my client feel with that interaction once he's your client? And how have you made my team feel? Like, hey man, Nick and his team are awesome. We sent them this quote 20 minutes ago and they got it back ASAP. Clear communication. We're able to give our client their quote, right? Because that's important for us, because we need to know that could be a make or break for the loan, right? Because they might not qualify with your quote,
right?
So that's you're right. Like that's the bare minimum. Like, hey man, I'll get back to you. Even if you say, hey, give me 2 hours and I'll get this back to you. Okay, great.
At least you said, hey, give me 2 hours.
Yes.
But communication and that white glove service should be the bare minimum. And so
that's huge.
Yeah. But so thinking of other ways, and then I think
one thing that I wanted to add, where you finish your thought. Like this already has brought value to my business, right? Whether you're going to post this on social media or you're going to share this with your team, they're going to see my face. They're going to either like or dislike me, and that's okay, because that's
it's the game.
Yeah, it's the game. But now I'm getting an extra set of eyes that are going to be watching me.
Yeah.
So regardless of whether you and I do business, which I hope we do, you've already added value to my business, right? Because no insurance agent has said, hey, Ivan, let's create some content together.
Yeah,
that's usually what I do to realtors. Like, hey, man, let me help you create content. So this is already a win in my book.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, we just being transparent, we haven't partnered up, right? Mm-hmm. We've just been very supportive of each other via social media. Mm-hmm. I've been we've been talking about linking up for the longest time. We just haven't,
We've missed each other.
But similar to what I've been kind of telling people is marketing is going to be super important as the economy turns, depending on whenever you're watching this. The economy is, things are crashing right now, you know what I mean? And marketing and exposure is going to be very, very important over the next 2 to 3 years, I think. And so it is valuable, man.
It is.
So Ivan, is there anything else that you think insurance agents should know? I think we kind of touched on a lot already.
Yeah, I mean, in closing, I would build a genuine partnership, find out pain points, find out how you can add value, and check in. So we don't really... Like, that's not the first thing that I think of in the morning. Like, oh man, what's my insurance agent doing today, right? So make sure, even if you need to set this on your calendar, bi-weekly or weekly, send in a quick text or an email like, hey guys, we're here just letting you know. Let us know if you need anything. Right? You're staying top of mind. You're communicating with them. You're not being pushy. You're just letting them know, like, hey, I'm alive. Let us know if you need a quote. Right? So
yeah, I like that. And one of my buddies, Daniel's a G, and he's very creative. He put me on the idea of sending, it was springtime, and he sent one of his mortgage partners just flowers and was like, happy springtime.
That's awesome.
Happy springtime.
That's genius.
And then and if you think about it, they're just going to look at the flowers and be like, who did this? Like, where'd these flowers come from? Like, somebody special? Like, nah, that was Nick, the insurance agent. That was Daniel, the insurance agent. So that's kind of cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
one of the ideas he gave me for my staff, and maybe you could do it too, is if your team hits a certain goal, is hire somebody that does those chair massages to come out to the office to give people 20-minute massages.
Yes.
Like 20-minute massages if you guys hit a certain goal, and it's just like, hey, thank you guys, right? Because we sit in our desks all day, our body's like formed over, and most people actually don't invest in that stuff themselves. And so if you were to make that investment for your team, I'm like, oh my God, that's freaking brilliant.
It's genius. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So cool,
everybody
man.
would love a massage.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Well, cool, Ivan. Well, dude, let's eat, man.
Yes.
Look, if you guys got some value,
tasty.
you guys know what to do. Destroy the like button, subscribe, share with all your friends, anybody in the insurance industry. You heard it here from a 7-year veteran in the lender space. So, Ivan, I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, man.
Thank
Let's
you.
eat.